I want some coffee.
Yeah.
The Basement Dwellers podcast is brought to you by Player One Coffee. If you're a coffee drinker and a dedicated gamer, then Player One Coffee is your best choice. No other brand is made by the very individuals who know exactly what it's like to need that boost of stamina and mental acuity when battling it out in cyberspace. Order your coffee today and watch your mental prowess soar when competing or playing your favorite video games. Plus, order your Player One coffee through our affiliate link, and not only will you receive 5% off of your first order, you'll also help support our show in the process.
Press start to continue.
They are those who live in the shadows, who feed upon Doritos and Mountain Dew. They take comfort in their dark habitats as they watch reruns of sci-fi shows long past. They are the Basement Dwellers.
Show me what you got!
So say we all. So say we all. So say we all.
Indeed.
Yes. This is a fertile land and we will thrive. We will rule over all this land and we will call it this land.
Make it so. Join me. Together, we can rule the galaxy far from sun.
I want to believe.
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
Happy New Year, nerds, and welcome back to another episode of The Basement Dwellers, a bi-weekly podcast dedicated to all activities most enjoyed by those who spend their time in the deepest, darkest, and dankest of basements everywhere. I'm your host, Wes Tanner, and tonight we're giving the middle finger to 2017 as we embrace the new year and hold our breath for better things to come. We've got a lot to cover tonight. We're going to go over some nerdy news, have a versus tournament, give our thoughts on The Last Jedi, review the Netflix original movie Bright, and end things by taking a look back at what 2017 had to offer all of us, as well as give a rundown of what we're looking forward to in 2018. I'm joined as always by my fellow basement dwellers, Nick, Ron, Ethan, Drew, Tucci, and introducing our newest diversity hire, Lauren.
Diversity.
I think those were her words, not mine. So
I mean, I think that's why I'm here.
Yeah, don't get on my case.
Guys, it's a girl.
Cuties.
I'm scared.
All right, Lauren, everybody's had to kind of like introduce themselves and tell a little bit about what they're into. You mind doing that for a minute here?
Okay, I'm into not a lot of things that are that cool, but I do like me some video games, mostly Sony products, Nintendo. What else do I like? I like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Fuck yeah.
I like X-Files. I think we're going to talk about some of that stuff. Yeah, that's about it. Video games, movies, horror, sci-fi, yada yada.
Good deal. All right, you'll fit right in. Except you haven't seen Star Wars, which is a damn shame.
All right, we're gonna call this out every time I'm around.
Yeah, we will actually.
Yes.
Next time I introduce you on the show, I'll be Lauren, who has never seen Star Wars.
That works.
So we took the week off last week for the holidays. We had Christmas and New Year's before recording this. So did everybody have a good Christmas?
Yes.
Yep.
Sure.
Not so bad.
I got a lava lamp.
We saw that too. You were without internet for how many days?
A whole week.
A week?
A whole week. And it was
How many messages did you try to send through your lava lamp?
I was afraid to touch it because I've learned from those experiences in the past. So it was definitely my best friend after Christmas for a good chunk of the time. So.
Yeah.
Tell the people what color it is.
Oh, it's okay. So it's a really nice purple
In vivid detail.
and the bubbles, right? The bubbles, they're like this milky white. So it looks great. Yeah, it looks really good.
And that's what you did. Sans internet access.
And that was
for the
my
week.
last week up until I got internet.
I know. You give us like
Hasn't been turned on since.
No, it's still on. It's on.
Oh,
It's
that's
totally on.
Never turned it off.
That's how he keeps his room warm.
I just
Actually,
imagine you sitting by the glow of a lava lamp, and that's it, like in a dark.
so yeah, I mean that was very much my life. That was very much my life for that week. Like, yeah, it was pretty bad. I really should meet some people that live around me so I can do stuff.
Yeah, oh man, that makes me kind of sad.
But no, back to ignore that.
Yeah.
Don't feel pity for me. It's
Okay.
all self-inflicted.
All right. All right.
But so funny thing about the warming my room comment. My last room, I moved over this last weekend. And it was fucking terrible. I hate moving, but my old room always used to either just be super fucking cold during the winter or really hot during the summer. But now that I've moved and I have a better room
And a lava lamp.
I actually am just
And a lava
always
lamp.
warm during the winter, and I will give you guys an update when the summer rolls around. So
Okay.
we'll see.
I look
Things to look
forward
forward to on
Yeah.
the Basement Dweller.
Yeah, things to look forward to in 2018. You're welcome.
Yeah.
We can close the show now.
What a cliffhanger.
Yeah, exactly. And then New Year's was just what, Monday, right? They got my days right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve.
Yesterday.
No.
Oh.
New Year's
Sunday.
Eve was Sunday, right?
Sunday
Yeah,
night.
there we go. Sorry. Time is weird.
Should have wrote that down too.
Yeah, I
Jeez.
guess I should have. I have to look at my calendar.
Welcome to
on the computer.
2018, Wes.
Yeah, I know. But any New Year's resolutions you guys don't mind sharing?
No.
Do people
No.
I
make
was only
those? Actually?
I was only planning a New Year's revolution.
Revolution.
I'm really not going to do anything different.
Yeah.
Nope. Gonna be the same piece of shit I've always been.
I plan on getting fatter and drunker.
I was gonna say maybe be a bigger piece of shit this year.
Yeah.
Resolution I can get behind.
Now it's time to see what's up in the world of nerdy news.
First up, via Polygon, suspect arrested in fatal Call of Duty swatting incident. I don't know if you guys heard about this recently. A Los Angeles man has been arrested in connection with the swatting hoax that left one man dead in Wichita, Kansas. Tyler Barris, 25, was taken into custody on a fugitive warrant, according to Los Angeles Police Department spokesperson. Swatting is a dangerous hoax in which someone places a phone call of a fake emergency to a police department with the intention of that police department responding by sending an armed, I guess, a SWAT team to the victim's address. In this case, Wichita's 911 dispatch was called. Well, it was Thursday. I don't know what date that was, but was called by someone claiming to have shot his father dead in an argument with his parents. The caller said that he had his weapon and was holding his mother and younger brother hostage. And so, naturally, the police showed up and... and he also said that he was going to douse the home in gasoline. Like, this guy, went all out to set this up. Yeah, and he gave the address of the person that he was having an online Call of Duty fight with. So Wichita police responded and confronted Andrew Finch, who was 28. Officers said Finch was ordered to raise his hands, but moved them to his waist. Officers said they believed he was reaching for a weapon, and they fired, killing him. Finch was not armed. Yeah, so that's pretty sad. I watched that story kind of unfold over the course of a couple days. I think it was last week or the week before that. Pretty close to Christmas, actually, which is I don't know. Today's going to be like a sad news day. I don't really have anything good to share. So, but
what a way to start off the year.
Yeah,
Sad
exactly.
news.
Exactly. Well, this we'll keep this on. This is 2017 still, so we still got New Year's stuff to go through. But there's been a whole bunch of different cases with swatting, and I think the whole prank is ridiculous. Like,
fucked up. That's
pretty dumb.
It is
entirely
it's
fucking
up.
stupid.
Are you kidding me?
It's putting someone's life like not even potentially, just like directly in danger. Like it's almost like throwing someone in front of a speeding vehicle.
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's no way to stop it once it's happening either.
Right.
It's like,
and
you know,
I was gonna say you're endangering a person and you're entirely wasting
resources.
Police resources.
Tax money too.
Tax money.
Tax money, and the fact that some other real emergency could be going on, and there's SWAT over there jerking off with whatever you fake called in.
Yeah. Like I get the want to be like trolly and stuff. Like I'm an internet nerd, so like I love the whole like, oh, can I get under your skin sort of thing. But like when you are like doxing somebody, which is like releasing private information without the individual's consent, and or like swatting in that way, that's like the most scummiest thing I can possibly think of that happens on the internet. It's well, not the scummiest, granted, there's some
well, in this category,
in terms of like trolling or like pranking somebody, that's like the worst you could probably do that I can think of off the top of my head. It's like,
it's pretty bad. So on to some more sad news via nydailynews.com. Thanks, Lauren, for sending this one in. Gillian Anderson, or first off, I should say that X-Files returns tomorrow, the 3rd, which by the time you guys hear this will have already passed, so I hope you have watched it by now. But Gillian Anderson has said that she will not return to X-Files after this season.
Is that...
Jesus Christ.
My God.
Go away.
Captain Malcolm Reynolds.
Go hug your lava
Malcolm
lamp.
Reynolds? Okay. I like Malcolm Reynolds. He's a good guy. He's from Firefly, right?
Yeah, exactly. Keep repeating it. Keep repeating it. It'll become knowledge soon enough. Gillian Anderson confirmed that she won't return to X-Files if the show is picked up for another season. This is her quoted saying, what the fuck is going on there?
What is happening?
Is someone peeing right now?
Or are they just crying over Jillian?
Just giving me a cat water. God, shut up.
Okay, anyway, she is quoted as saying, "I've said from the beginning, this is it for me." She told TV Guide, Fox hasn't yet announced a decision as to whether the show will continue on past the 11th season, but creator Chris Carter told TV Guide that there are a lot more X-Files stories to tell. Whether we get to tell them is a question mark. So yeah, that's, I don't know. I think I was surprised that they came back again after the last season they put out.
Me too.
Yeah, I was, so I think, Lauren, I think you're probably the only one who's seen a lot of X-Files then, right?
I guess.
I mean, have you seen all of them?
All of them? Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Well, okay, I guess I can't say all of them because the last season I did trail off because it was not good.
Well, we're on the same page. We'll have plenty to talk about X-Files because nobody else on the show right now has seen all of them. So not even Ethan, and he was like,
not since the 90s, yo.
Yeah. So,
I mean, those are the best ones anyway. But
yeah, but you know, I was so excited for the last season they did to come out. And then they like aired it all in a different order, which really kind of upset, I think, the narrative. And it wasn't really a good run for, I think they did, 6 episodes, something like that, 6 or 8. I don't remember what it was. But I am excited for this because, you know, it garnered enough interest for them to want to bring it back again. And, you know, if they send it off right this time, then I'll be happy with it ending after this. So,
yeah. Well, it's just like, if they do, you know, sorry, whoever that was.
Just keep going.
Oh, if they do, you know, come back with like season 11, it would be interesting to see how they're gonna write off Scully's character.
Oh, you mean after this one? for season
Yeah.
12. Yeah, I think this is season 11.
Are we
coming
12?
out.
Oh, I
think
thought this one
I
was
think the
season
one
10.
coming out tomorrow is season 11.
Oh.
So yeah, I think so. I could be wrong.
Well,
I'm pretty sure.
whatever. After the next season, if they do
Yeah.
another one and she's not going to do it, like
I don't know if they will though, because I don't know. I don't know. I hope they don't actually. So I hope they wrap this season up and give us a good closure on like the series as a whole. I'll take that.
Yeah, me too.
I'm still curious to see the return of the lone gunman here.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I lost track of what was going, or I lost track of all the news regarding the new X-Files season until last week when they said it was returning this week, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, that's like next week." So
yeah, I didn't even
and here we
realize
are.
it was coming back.
I know
like,
they
tomorrow.
kind of pull a fast one. Either that, or I was just not paying attention. Okay, so moving on for our last piece of news. This is in the bullshit news category via WZZM13. Too much video game time is now considered a mental disorder.
Hell yeah, disability.
Yes.
Bring it on.
If you spend too much time playing video games, the World Health Organization says you could have gaming disorder. People who spend countless hours playing video games could soon be diagnosed with a mental health disorder. The World Health Organization will add gaming disorder to its international classification of diseases next year. The World Health Organization will release the 11th edition of the International Classification of Diseases next year, adding gaming disorder to the list, and it means it will be recognized by doctors and insurance companies. I cannot fucking believe that.
Wow. So, drink too much alcohol, do too much heroin, go to rehab, go to jail, play too many video games, get a disability check. Sweet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's
was that what was the date on that article? Are they talking like 2018 it's added or 2019 it's added?
I believe it will be added this year because I think all that stuff came out last month in December. So that's when it was announced.
Oh yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Isn't
well,
it?
I guess I have 2 official diseases now.
Yeah. Well, you know what pisses me off about it is that it's so specific. I mean, we can already pretty much classify addiction as like a mental health issue, can't we? You know,
A disease,
Right.
Yeah.
you know, addiction, which is essentially what they're talking about. Why are they, you know what I mean?
So alcohol, drugs, porn addiction, internet addiction, television addiction, candy addiction, all completely different than video games.
It just doesn't, I don't know. Like it
I just
know,
can't
man.
think that anybody's insurance would ever cover like rehabilitation for gaming.
I don't know.
Right.
I mean,
And
I
what
don't,
is the rehabilitation for
It
that?
seems like they're just putting a name on something so they can charge you more money to quote unquote make you better now.
I guess.
It's gonna be
Make
one
America
of those,
great again.
You're goddamn right. We're gonna build a video game wall. No, it's gonna be like those commercials that you see on like daytime TV for the Addiction Health Recovery Network with that fake ass doctor who's like, "Come stay at our private resort and we'll cure you of all of your woes."
Do you have an Xbox there, man?
Smuggling in
Do you have an
tons of
Xbox?
cocaine.
Yeah. Drew, I have to say, I am in awe of how good you sound on the mic right now.
Oh, I had to move to my phone because my computer took a shit and died. Like,
Well, I was going to
actually
say,
died.
you don't sound like a robot, like not even a tiny little bit.
Oh, well, I hate using my phone because I have to hold it up to my face because I've got the stupid iPhone. And I'd have to get another dongle so I can charge it and use the microphone at the same time because I have to go to work in like 2 hours.
Isn't technology
Dongles are
wonderful?
bullshit and fuck Apple and me and my stupid junky need to have stupid fucking podcasts and music on my phone.
Drew's tired, everybody.
He's grumpy.
I'm a
Drew,
grumpy
have
panda.
Drew, have a Snickers.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not angry. I'm just tired.
Diabetic?
Tired.
I'm having game withdrawals, you asshole.
You should contact your health provider.
Yeah.
Dying.
I'm gonna talk to my human resource person at work tomorrow to see if I can get something set up.
There you go.
Yeah, I totally need a PlayStation at work because I have an addiction.
Insurance won't cover your insulin, but they sure will cover your gaming rehab.
That's right. They're gonna
Maybe they're gonna volunteer it too.
They're gonna give you. They're gonna give you another pump, so whenever you try to go to play video games, it's gonna cancel out your insulin.
So they're gonna murder me to cure me of one addiction.
Yep.
It's like a breathalyzer before you can drive your car.
Right. Do you
Well,
really
I
want to
mean,
play
if
that?
you're dead, you can't have an addiction.
If
Right.
I'm dead, I'm cured of both of my diseases then.
Yeah. You're cured.
Well, it's like all the antidepressants that may cause suicidal
Oh my god, I
thoughts.
sound like I'm like, let's euthanize people with diseases. Not what I'm going for there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just trying to wipe us all
Sure,
out.
dick.
Yeah, that's right. Kill the nerds and the diabetics.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine all the new drugs that are going to come out, though? They're going to be like, this
Oh,
is going to
God.
suppress your gaming
Get
desire.
the official PlayStation pill.
Yeah.
The Nintendo pill will be shittier and like 2 generations behind the other 2.
And with that, we're gonna go ahead and take our first commercial break. And when we get back, we're gonna have ourselves a versus tournament.
Weather outside's fucking cold, and all the games you're playing are getting old. So since you've no place to go, listen to our show, subscribe to the show, review our show on iTunes.
The Basement Dwellers podcast is now available on the following platforms: iTunes, Google Play, Podbean, and SoundCloud. So subscribe to the show and make sure to leave us a review. Happy holidays, nerds. And we're back, and we are going to be doing our very first versus tournament. We have, well, we're going to have 8 contestants? Combatants? I don't know the word, but we're going to have...
Gladiators!
Yes, 8 gladiators that have been... the winners of our previous rounds, which if you're kind of doing the math in your head and you're just listening to our RSS feed, you probably missed our Facebook live show where we did what did we do? 3 of them, 4 of them?
Yeah, we had 3.
3? Okay, yeah, we did 3 of them then. So I'll go ahead and read off the. Should I read off the names or should have it be secret? No, I'll read off the names because they should already know what they are. But anyway, so we have winners of our last rounds. We have Malcolm Reynolds. Tucci, who is that?
Oh god, I'm put on the spot here.
All right, fuck off. It's Malcolm Reynolds. And we have MacGyver, Han Solo, Ron Swanson, Mario, Conan the Barbarian, Deadpool, and for our last choice, we have a randomly generated one that we'll get to when the time comes. So can one of you guys give me 2d8 rolls?
Is that Malto Mario or Mario and Luigi?
Just Mario. Mario.
This is compelling radio.
I know.
I got 8.
You got 8?
8.
Okay, one more. An 8.
See, Norman, I hate you.
Fucking Norman.
So bad. All right, hold on.
Yeah,
Hold
one
on,
more.
D8.
One more roll. 2. Okay.
2.
That works. Okay. Well, here's the deal. You guys rolled an 8, which is TBD's choice. So someone, let's have Lauren, since you're a first timer on here. How about you just randomly choose a fictional character for this?
Oh, rando.
She is muted.
Lauren.
She can still hear us.
Can she?
All right.
I'm back. I'm here.
Oh, okay. We were just kidding about you not being able to talk.
She was quote unquote watering the cat.
Yeah.
That's weird. Don't say that.
Did you? Oh yeah. Oh man. Did you hear anything we were just talking about?
Yeah, I just gotta pick a fictional character.
Yeah, just one randomly.
Any of them.
Okay.
Anything you can think of.
I mean, you know, I'm gonna pick Rita Repulsa.
Rita Repulsa. Okay, yeah, I knew you were. Okay, so Rita Repulsa from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So that her versus MacGyver.
What? Wait. I want to get something straight before we move forward.
Okay.
Are we using the newer version of Rita, or are we using the old version?
No. OG.
OG?
Rita.
OG? Okay, I appreciate that.
OG Rita? Okay. All right, Lauren, well, you're going to have to give us a rundown as far as what she can do, because I don't remember. I just remember
You don't know what she does?
I just remember her, like, having a staff, and she would, like, yell at Goldar. Like, that's it.
And the other guy to make her monsters.
Exactly, the putties.
She sends her monsters down, so that would be Goldar, like, Babu and all those people.
But what does she do?
She calls in the monsters. So she's got, like, all the monsters.
And
Are we allowed
to? And when the monsters fall the first time, she summons them back, like, 80 times bigger.
Yeah.
So are we allowed to use summoning in verses? Do we get bonus characters?
See, I don't...
Or is it just MacGyver versus Rita?
This is like, I was confused by this.
This is where we get a problem, because is she able to call in monsters? Because if so, she runs the table almost. Well, except she has some shitty monsters.
Because, like, when we did Mario, you know, we used all the way up to Odyssey, where he throws his cap on something and becomes them. So
And in the new Power Rangers movie, which I have seen, she does actually kick some ass in it, like just her. So I think we can go ahead and roll with that.
all right, use whatever Rita you want to use.
Yeah. You want to set the scene, Lauren?
No.
No. Okay. Ron. Oh, you know what? Tucci, do you know enough to do this?
Oh God. Who was the other character?
MacGyver.
I don't
Who's that?
think
Oh
I
my
don't think
God.
I don't mean to be that guy, but
All right, Ron. We're on to you, buddy.
Okay.
yeah, I've never seen that movie actually.
We're off to a good start.
I'm trying to make it an even playing field.
Yeah.
MacGyver is in the Middle East somewhere. He's on a top secret mission. He comes upon a cave, in which Rita is, I don't know, planning on making some clay monsters to attack the Power Rangers.
Like she does.
And MacGyver's like, "Oh no, not on my watch."
Not on my watch.
Go.
Okay. All right.
I just...
Yeah,
Wait,
no, that
wait,
wait.
Wait. How would he just know that what she's doing is evil and she's not just like creating some clay figures to sell at the market?
Like she's not just a starving artist in a cave.
She's just an old woman who's...
Dude, I pulled that right out of my ass. I have no idea.
Well, for one, she's wearing that evil outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just looks evil.
Is it evil or...
And I mean, this is MacGyver. I mean, and MacGyver's from the 80s, so he's allowed to judge
people. We just
people.
have to go on the assumption that we know she's evil.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, obviously he's watched Power Rangers.
From the
Jesus Christ.
He would be in the know. He would be in the know of who she is.
All right, you know what? The logistics are not important. We just know that they're going to be fighting each other, and they know they're going to be fighting each other. Who's got a good case for either one?
I'm going to just argue in favor of duct tape.
In my head of MacGyver slipping plastic explosive into putty goo.
Oh my God.
That she is crafting putties out of and then just detonating it and destroying her.
Shit, that's genius.
That is just all I can picture right now. Is
He will totally stop that bitch with duct tape, a paper clip, and a candy bar.
And then he sneaks back out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it's not good. It's not great. But it's what popped into my head and it made me chuckle.
You know, I think that's good. I'm actually behind that one.
I'm gonna have to say Rita on this one.
Why is that?
I mean, she doesn't summon like one of the Putty Patrollers. She summons like massive armies of them. Also, she's a fucking witch. So after he blows up like the C4 Putty, like they all become one giant one.
And remember, this is MacGyver. He doesn't just have C4. He would have to make C4 out of whatever's laying around.
Or is that the wrong Putty Patrol?
Wait, what?
Didn't they have like the circles on their chest? And you know, like,
I don't know. You're both talking at the same time, so
they go around and go.
Yeah.
I thought that was that Russian singer.
Circle on his chest, and like they had to hit the circle, which was like always really hard to do for some reason.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and they exploded, didn't they?
Yeah, and then they would die.
Okay.
If I'd ever watched Power Rangers, I would probably give a shit.
Okay. All right. So we got 2 from MacGyver here. Lauren, what's your I'm assuming you're on Rita's side here. What's your
Wait, I said Rita, bro.
Sorry, we got 2 Ritas and 1 MacGyver. What's still the question remains. Lauren, what's your best guess here and why?
Why do I never know who I was gonna win?
I mean, this is your pick.
This is your champion.
Like, pimping the fuck out of Rita right now.
I honestly think that MacGyver would win.
Oh my god. All right. Ooh, okay.
But why?
In an interesting turn of events.
Why? So because I've never seen MacGyver.
Oh man. All right. You know what?
I did a tutti and I looked up his things that he does, right?
Yeah. So here's my theory, right? This is why
Captain MacGyver Reynolds.
I'm gonna vote for MacGyver on this one, and here's why. So this is a hunch, so I'm going off of a hunch, right? And we're just kind of giving scenarios and throwing them out there. I think what's gonna end up happening in this scenario is when Rita pops up, right, like the bitch she is, MacGyver is going to run into a crystal that allows him to transform into a Power Ranger.
Oh shit!
And becomes MacGyver Power Ranger, which you guys already talk about how explosive he is.
McRanger.
Imagine
McRanger.
Yeah.
Oh
the
my god.
McRanger.
All right.
You're welcome.
You win creativity
He's the
points.
khaki
here.
ranger.
Okay. What do I think?
And the Power Rangers always win, man.
Oh yeah, just by default. You know what?
Yeah, man.
I don't know enough about Rita's own personal abilities to be able to give her a good run here. I have to say MacGyver just because he would take this as like one of the ultimate challenges because he's like, what the fuck is this bitch doing with clay? And he would, you know what I mean? I like Drew's plastic explosives idea. I think that's probably what he would do, and he would probably make the plastic explosive out of the putties. Like, anybody have anything to add to this before we move on?
Ron?
No, I think MacGyver also, because of those reasons. He's always thinking on his feet, and Rita just kind of goes with her same old song and dance, so it'd be easy to kind of figure out what she's going to do next, and he could stay one step ahead of her.
Okay. Well, in probably one of the most boring matchups of versus, the round goes to MacGyver. So we'll go ahead and
MacGyver's Zord be though.
Oh,
That's my
shit.
question. I want to know.
A giant roll of duct tape, and
Yes.
then he rides in a paperclip.
Yeah.
Questions that need
it's like-
answers.
It's like a big duct tape wheel, and then there's like a paperclip suspended in the middle that he rides in.
It's all stuck together with bubble gum.
you know,
It all
All
just
right.
falls apart.
I need let's see here. I need a D6, 2 D6s.
D6.
Round 2.
Fight.
What do we got?
I got a 5.
Okay.
I got a 6.
5 and a 6. Okay. All right. All right. In our next matchup on our very first versus tournament, we have Mario versus Conan the Barbarian.
Oh, yes.
I like where this is headed. Okay. All right. What about you, Drew? You haven't done one yet.
I give it a shot.
Okay, give it a shot, buddy.
So
I'll do the next one.
Mario has the different worlds he goes to, right? So he's in the desert world.
Okay.
He's getting towards the end of the level, and instead of there being a Bowser in the castle, he runs into Conan, sitting on a throne, listening to the lamentations of his victims' women.
Jesus.
Power effing the princess.
Oh my god.
He's got his feet up on Toad as a footstool, and Mario enters
Toadstool
to you got it. and Mario enters the castle and sees that picture.
Oh fuck, man, that was perfect. I love it. Like I just want
to say.
I just want to imagine it right now. That's
Conan wins.
Conan wins just by sheer intimidation.
Mario just killed himself.
I don't know what Mario would do if he walked in and saw something like that. Like, cries himself to sleep.
Yeah.
Mamma mia!
Okay. Anybody have a compelling case for either one right now?
I mean, to be fair, the guy comes in and fights a giant fucking spiky death turtle with nothing but his overalls.
Yeah, you're right.
Power. We gotta give him at least one power up.
Oh yeah, no. He has access to his powers.
Okay. I'm going to assume
there's mushrooms and flowers laying everywhere.
So he's, his big boy size, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
And since he is in the desert land, he obviously has a fire flower.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone else wants to give him more or less. I don't know.
I think that works.
Good.
That works.
I don't know. Does he have access to Yoshi?
No. That's an extra character. He just has his power-ups. So,
no weird raccoon suits either.
And last time we had Mario on this, he did have like one up because
wasn't
it Mario versus Hulk? Is that what we did last time?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, this is kind of the same fight then, isn't it?
I think I'm gonna give it to Mario.
Okay.
On the basis of a surprise thing. I could see Mario comes in, Conan jumps up, whips out his giant sword. Not in anything about a penis, it's an actual sword. Goes down, and I think he whaps Mario, like cuts his head off kind of deal. But Mario's head does not come off. He just boop, 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 boop. He shrinks. And then,
shit.
Punches him in the dick, jumps on his head, and he's dead because that's how Mario kills things. He jumps on their heads.
God damn it. Drew, you're on a roll, man.
Mario has saved the desert world, and I don't think he wants the princess anymore because it's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway.
Oh my Jesus.
How's that for dark?
You should not sleep more often.
Yeah. You need more anti-sleep.
So my vote is Mario.
Okay. I don't think I can beat that.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. Does anybody else have anything equally as creative in favor of Conan?
Nope.
Like,
no,
I
it's
really
fucking Conan.
Win, but like, I thought of that, and I was like, that's what would happen. I think Conan would get taken by surprise, get punched in the dick, and get his head booped, and then he's dead.
His head booped.
Yeah, because Conan would definitely not expect this fat little Italian plumber jumping on his head to kill him.
Yeah, I know.
He'd just be like, "What the fuck are you?"
Oh, man, I'm tired.
If Mario ends up winning this, I might kill myself.
Oh man. Okay, no, we need
Mario just did.
We need someone in defense of Conan here. Does anybody?
To be fair, Conan is not just a giant fucking brutish barbarian. He is hyper intelligent as well.
Yeah.
So really? I feel like he wouldn't
give something for Conan.
He's not going to be fucking necessarily outsmarted by
I guess
Mario.
the other way to look at it, Cone would not be taken by surprise. And he knows that you don't just you have to slash as well. If he gets him on the forehand, backhand, and I guess would behead and then double behead the little Mario, because obviously he shrinks.
Or just punch him across the room.
Again, he's obviously going lower because you go for the high strike and then swing it back. You get some doubles in the head, and then I guess Mario's dead. Princess Peach is still a trophy of war and destroyed.
He has a nice Bowser hat.
Toad is still a stool. Bowser is a very cool, spiky backpack.
Why don't we just let Drew do all these? We're not going to vote anymore.
So I guess the question for all
He's doing good.
is, how dark do you want this to be?
No,
do you want
very.
Hope for Mario and the Mushroom Kingdom, or do you want hulking Conan to have been booped in the head and destroyed?
Booped in the head.
That's a better visual.
I think that's funnier.
I'm going to vote for that just because. I mean, gotta love Conan, but that's my boop.
All the battles, he falls to a boop on the head.
Yeah.
That's his Achilles heel.
Oh.
All Italian plumber.
I cannot believe that just happened, but in our second round, in our versus tournament, I'm calling it in favor of Mario because Drew...
Man, Mario's gonna win.
Drew fucking wiped the field. He wiped the field from both sides, and still Mario comes out ahead.
Okay, but now to be fair, going forward, I would have to say that the winners for the second round were able to observe all of the previous fights.
Oh.
So that they
also, he just wasted his fire flower and his mushroom, so he shouldn't have it again.
It makes it a little more compelling that way, so we can't just keep going, well, Mario gets hit once and shrinks and then boops him on the head. Like, whoever Mario fights now is going to obviously know, hey, protect my head. This little motherfucker's going to try to crush it.
Yeah, that is kind of like the ultimate 1-2 punch. Like,
because otherwise, I mean, I can make Mario win this whole thing, and I hate Mario.
All right. Well, that round goes to Mario. Thanks, Drew, for that.
You're welcome.
You completely soloed that match. So I need two D4 rolls.
You got a 3
and a 4
and a 4.
3 and a 4. Okay. Oh God. All right. Here's one for you, Tucci. Our next matchup in our versus tournament is Han Solo versus Ron Swanson.
Wait. No, okay, I'm just kidding.
I swear to God, if you go,
wow.
Han Solo.
How did these two meet up? That's interesting. Okay, so I've got this.
You got it?
After being chased by the Empire, the Millennium Falcon, Han Solo slams it into hyperdrive, but at the last second, it hits one of the engines, and something catastrophically goes wrong. And when the Millennium Falcon hits hyperspeed, it actually jolts him into a different universe where he crash lands into what's the city's name again?
Pawnee,
Indiana, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he slams into Pawnee, Indiana, right within like a mile of Ron Swanson's cabin. Okay, and Ron Swanson's sitting there and sipping his whiskey and munching on some bacon and eggs, and he hears this loud crash, just like massive boom. And of course, just being the guy he is, the manly man that he is, he grabs his rifle and gets all ready and starts headed towards the crash. And he starts to scout up towards, like he's hunting a deer, scouting up towards the Millennium Falcon, and he sees a huge door, the door of the Millennium Falcon open up, and Han Solo pops out. And that's where we are.
Okay.
We're in Pawnee.
Han Solo in Indiana, of all things.
Han Solo wins.
just by default. You want to give the scenario here?
What? No, he just.
Is it because he shoots first?
Why does he win?
Yeah.
Because Han, he always shoots first.
But as the door opens, does he see Ron Swanson, or is Ron Swanson hiding in a bush?
Yeah, Ron Swanson would be hiding.
I mean, he's got a deer rifle trained on him.
That's fair.
Han doesn't wear any kind of armor. He wears basic white girl clothes. I mean, you pop a latte in his hand, he can be at a festival.
But even if Ron Swanson was being sneaky, why would he just instantly shoot at this guy that was getting off?
Because he's an alien.
Crashed.
And he's on his land.
Yeah.
Land on his land, and he has the right to shoot him.
What a white guy, man.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong.
All right. Drew, do you have anything for this one?
I really don't, because I could see it being a standoff more than it becomes a shooting thing.
Okay.
Because it's going to be a standoff, I think, until one of them is seen by the other with a weapon. Actually, you know what? I think Ron Swanson's going to win this one. Because if he's in a bush with the deer rifle,
with the deer,
a strange man walk out of a strange ship with a strange blaster on his side, I'm pretty sure he's going for the kill.
Okay. Ethan, what about you, man?
I'm with Drew's first assessment. I think there would be a standoff. I think there would be some, like, who the hell are you? No, who the hell are you? There'd be some banter. There'd be some exchange shots. There would be some exchange sarcasm. And when they realized how sarcastic they both were, they'd go to the bar and have a drink.
They totally did, actually.
Oh, is this a tie?
And they would drink each other into the floor. That's how one of them wins.
Or they would both win, or both lose. Or I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
They both hate the government. I see. There's just no. There's nothing here, man.
Yeah, they're gonna Han Solo's gonna get there. They're gonna break some bread, and then.
I mean bacon.
Bacon, whatever they do, and then Han Solo's just gonna take over. It's like history.
All right.
The only one up that Ron Swanson has is that he has a license to do whatever he wants.
Yep.
That's pretty true. Yeah.
But I'm still going for tie.
Tie?
I think that Ron Swanson would get skeptical though, and then just sneakily poison Han Solo or something with some berries he found in the wilderness.
Yeah, but it's either that or they would realize one needed to be more sarcastic than the other, and they'd start shooting at each other again.
They're probably just going to be buds. That's it.
You know what? This is how I see it. I like Ethan's idea about them ending up at a bar together, but I have a feeling that Han Solo could drink Ron Swanson under the table just because he's used to drinking all this exotic, galactic liquor and whatever compared to our whiskey, which, who knows how that compares, you know what I mean?
It's like water.
Yeah. And I see it as Han Solo using that as a way to get Ron Swanson off his guard, and then he'd pull a, Han and Greedo type deal right there at the table.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, Swanson has a little more of morality than Han Solo would.
But yeah, I was gonna say, Han's not inherently just an evil prick. He's not just gonna shoot him for no reason.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, Greedo was trying to jack him over, so why wouldn't he shoot him first? Shit. I don't see either of them having a reason to have a beef with each other to shoot each other.
Well, the whole premise behind Versus is that they're there.
They do for some reason.
For reasons, they're fighting for reasons. So we'll assume that Ron Swanson made a Wookiee joke or something, and you know what I mean. So, anybody have any defense one way or the other?
Yeah, Ron Swanson all the way. Because, okay, you talked about him being hiding in the bushes because he is the hunter. He's gonna wait and stalk his prey. Plus, there's been several episodes where Ron has talked about how he has his land booby trapped with mines and all sorts of other shit. He has said that before several times.
He's also said he's lazy. So is that true?
I'm going to go with it's true for this scenario.
Okay.
Because fuck you, that's why.
Because it makes it sound funnier. I don't even think it's going to get... It's not even going to get to a shoot-off because Han's going to step off the Millennium Falcon and die.
Anybody have a good comeback for that?
I think Han has...
I think the crash landing for the Millennium Falcon would have detonated kind of pressure device that was around where they crashed.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Because there's going to be quite the vibration going through the ground. If it's like a pressure plate kind of deal or a tripwire, pretty sure they're going to have detonated.
So in that case, does Han die like outright just by hitting the ground? If all the mines go off at once?
If those mines go off,
They would probably both die then.
They would both be dead.
Are we gonna call this? Are we gonna call this a tie by both dying?
It's a tie no matter what, isn't it?
I think so. But you know
both
what?
dead, they're both
In the
out.
wicked turn, they both die.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the only way we can do it. Right?
So they both live, they both die, neither of them go on to the next round either way.
Yeah, I think they both go out in a blaze of glory and save us all from having to repeat they're fighting somebody else. So okay, I'm satisfied with that. And in an interesting turn of events, our recent our most recent versus tournament matchup, Ron Swanson versus Han Solo, they both fucking eat it because of the Millennium Falcon triggering all of the hidden landmines and booby traps in Ron Swanson's backyard all at once.
In the words of good old JR, by God, they're both dead.
Okay, so by a process of elimination here, our last matchup before we start doing eliminations is Malcolm Reynolds versus Deadpool.
Oh God!
Ouch!
All right, I'm gonna borrow a little bit from one of the other scenarios I set up here. Deadpool is kind of just sitting around bored one day, fucking around with his transporter, his little personal teleporter that he has, and he's like, "Oh, there's a button on here I've never even pressed before." He's like, "Obviously, I have to press it, see what it does." He presses it, and then all of a sudden, his world completely changes, and he is all of a sudden on the Serenity. He is in a cargo hold. And he's looking around trying to get his bearings straight, and it causes a little bit of a disturbance enough to where the crew notices, but Mal is the closest one, and he wants to check it out for himself. So he walks into the back cargo area, and he's up on the catwalk, and he sees a ninja-clad character running around, frantically looking in through all the boxes to see if he can find something fun to do, and he kind of calls out to him. He says, "Hey, what you doing down there?" And Deadpool kind of looks up, and that's where we are.
I'm gonna say Mal.
Why's that?
Well, okay, you said they were on the Serenity, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say Mal gets annoyed by Deadpool talking too much. So
Would not take long.
Yeah.
He just ejects him right into space. May not kill him, but
It does stop the fight. Okay.
Got honest truth, Nick. I had the same exact thing in my head. Because you said they're in the cargo hold, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was an established thing that's happened in the show as well. So I mean,
I feel like he would get annoyed way too quickly, so he would just, boop. Him on the head.
Boop again. Yep.
He booped him. He booped a button. The button booped him.
I see it actually just for the sake of imagery. I have just a little alteration to make with that. I think Mal outright shoots Deadpool, and then once he realizes that it doesn't take him down, then he ejects him.
Yeah.
But what
Very
if
good point.
when Mal is going for the boop button, Deadpool just takes his katanas and he's just cuts his hands off.
Well,
he can't move the button.
Well,
depends on where the button is.
Also depends on where Mal shoots Deadpool. Because if it's a body shot, then you see the katana thing. If it's a headshot, it's been kind of canon that Deadpool gets knocked even more loopy, I guess you would say. If he gets shot in the dome because his brain's rebuilding itself to whatever decrepit state it was previously, and now it's even less sane. So I mean, I guess it would all depend on where.
Let's go with that. Let's go with the brain rebuilding.
I think if he shoots him in the head, then yes, your scenario plays out. And because as he's getting up and he's going, oh man, cuckoo bird, Tweety bird, blah blah blah. Mal's like, what the fuck? And he just goes, boop.
Yeah, because I was gonna say otherwise, Deadpool is, since he could probably breathe in space, who fucking knows? It's Deadpool.
And
if he just writing him at the moment,
right? If he just opened the latch, I think Deadpool would be quick enough to not just get sucked out. Like he could lay his katanas into the hull or something and stick it out.
Okay.
But if he gets shot in the head and he's entirely loopy, he may not have the time for that reaction.
Okay, so this is a depends scenario.
I think we need to make a coin flip deal to decide where Deadpool has been shot.
Malcolm, roll a 20.
Yeah. Do we want to leave this up to Norman? Do we really?
Norman is kind of a dick.
Do we really?
I really don't want Deadpool.
But you know what? We do have to introduce some element of chance to this. So let's just roll a D100. 50 or 51. Wait, how does that work? 51 and up.
1 to 50 would be like Deadpool.
Yeah, how did
51 to 100
50
would be 51 to 100 would be Malcolm.
Well, no, we're determining whether or not Deadpool gets shot in the head or in the body. Because
okay, so then
that will determine. So let's go ahead and re-roll that. So let's say 50 and below is body, and 51 and up is head.
Okay.
23, body shot. All right, he's still in the running then. Okay. So that kind of alters things a little bit here.
I'm going to assume up there Malcolm would have access to some kind of large pipe wrench that Kaylee would have just left lying around. Because it's the Serenity and there's shit everywhere.
Sure.
And Malcolm has proved himself to be if not decent, a good enough swordsman to defend himself for at least a moment. So he might be able to stave off the hand chopping off of the katanas, if not for just a moment.
Maybe a moment, because in the one episode where he actually has to duel,
he duels for
an does get his shit stabbed.
He does get like wrecked.
He does, but has all of the dead spots in his body from the war, and he does end up turning it around to win. So I mean, there's a little bit of craftiness there, but I think in the long run, Deadpool's gonna pull it out because he's just stupidly enough you can't kill him.
I kind of feel the same way because they're both military trained, but Deadpool's obviously a little bit crazier and a little bit more martial arty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they both, Mal's gonna have the more like strategy mind, even though you sometimes wonder what the hell his strategy is. And
Okay.
Deadpool's just like, fuck it, I'm gonna kill you.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be an easy fight or short.
More of an assassin too. So
yeah. As much as I hate to kill off one of my favorite characters, I think Deadpool is going to take.
All right, McCrary brothers, one of you. What do you think?
No, I think it's going to be Deadpool also, just because of like that mania, that manic craziness that he has is going to always kind of supersede any tactics you try to fight him.
Yeah.
Okay. Tucci, what about you, man?
Deadpool, like I said earlier.
Okay.
Definitely Deadpool.
And Nick?
I'm still going with Mal.
Mal? Okay. Lauren?
Deadpool.
Fuck, okay. Yeah, I think I'm with Drew here. As much as I want to see Mal win this one, I think Deadpool would have the edge just for the fact of survivability and not having a plan. You know what I mean? I think Mal would.
To be fair,
Mal would hold his own.
And we all like Mal, but we've also seen Mal get the shit kicked out of him several times.
Yeah, and I think Deadpool would wreck his shit. So
I don't think he would. I don't think he would wreck his shit.
I think he would if he got up close. If he got up close, he would.
I still think it would be a fight, and it would not be an easy fight for Deadpool.
Well, see, here's the thing.
I mean, if Deadpool couldn't regenerate, and if Deadpool had, because I don't think Deadpool can feel pain either. So
yeah, this fight to me all hinged on that coin flip of head or body.
Okay,
and
right.
Came up body, unfortunately for my boy. So he's dead.
All right. Well, for the sake of time here, in this matchup between Malcolm Reynolds and Deadpool takes it pretty much hands down. So
out of a D3?
No, actually, I think what we're gonna do is, because we're already running over an hour here, at least recording time anyway. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and save the last part of this for next episode. How about that?
Ooh,
boom!
It'll be what, Battle Royale?
Battle Royale.
Threat.
Yeah, you know what? And we will do something different here. We will have them all go at it at the same time. How about that?
Oh,
yeah.
Triple threat match.
Something to look forward to. So, guys, not to leave you hanging, but for next episode, we'll go ahead and wrap this one up. Or I should say, we'll wrap this portion of the tournament up. So look forward to next time, where we're going to have MacGyver, Mario, and Deadpool all face off in the ring.
Goddamn Mario!
I know.
No, how did you make it so far?
Yeah, and with that, we're going to go ahead and take our second commercial break, and when we get back, we're going to dive into our main segment, where we're going to review Bright. We're going to talk about The Last Jedi a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and give our overview of 2017, as well as what we're looking forward to in 2018. We'll be right back.
All right.
Okay.
Do you like role-playing games? How about podcasts? How about a podcast about a role-playing game? Check out our friends at Tomorrow's End, a podcast that follows a role-playing group as they navigate through a post-apocalyptic wasteland. All right, enough fucking words. Here's the trailer.
How did humanity get here? I just can't remember. The rest of the world didn't know why the end had come. They'd heard on the radio about an attack on the States by either Russia or China over dwindling resources. What we knew was that the world was going to end, and a crazy man named Morrow had a plan to save the world. Many teams were frozen in vaults deep underground, safely tucked away from all the bombs and nukes flying, and the asteroid that would finally end everything. They were supposed to wake up 25 years later and help pick up the pieces, but something went wrong, and everyone woke up a lot later, if they woke up at all. Cultists, criminals, madmen, they've been living and thriving through the radiation and destruction the entire time. Some good people also survived. They held on to hope by spreading stories about tomorrow's end.
And we're back again, and we're back with our main segment here. We're going to do our 2017 year in review. We're going to go ahead and start off with our thoughts about The Last Jedi. We've been waiting all year. Actually, we've been waiting like forever for this movie to come out. And surprisingly enough, except in Lauren's case, because we all know she wasn't going to see it anyway, but not all of us have seen it yet, so we're just going to give our quick initial impressions as far as what we thought about the movie. We're not going to give any spoilers away, or we're going to do our best not to lead anyone towards any conclusions that may or may not be true. So yeah, I'll go ahead and open it up with the first question. I'm like, first off, who saw it?
Yo.
I did.
I saw it.
Okay, so it's me, Ethan, Ron, oh god damn it, Drew, and am I missing somebody? No, that's it. Tucci didn't see it.
Tucci? Oh, Tucci and I haven't seen that. That's right.
No. Okay. So what you guys think about it?
It's kind of Star Wars, not Star Wars, but I enjoyed it.
It was a salad, meh.
Yeah. Drew, definitely, you didn't like it. I know you said you didn't like it.
I didn't not like it. I just didn't like it.
Okay. All right. Ron, what about you, man?
I liked it a lot. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, there were parts that were not Star Wars, but the whole movie, I loved it.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought on it. Kind of actually with the whole not reboot, but the whole continuation, starting with The Force Awakens and everything. Like,
yeah,
I remember being so excited for the fact that I was watching Star Wars again, that I watched it and I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. And then I watched it a second time and I was like, okay, it's not as great as I thought it was, but it was still pretty damn great, you know? And I went into this one kind of with the same mentality. Like, I was interested to see what they were going to do with the story, but I knew that it was based off the Force Awakens. I knew that I kind of had a feeling the direction they were going in, and it could have gone one or two ways, and it went a way that I wasn't expecting. So I'm trying really hard to be vague here, and it's not.
Right.
It's
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it. So yeah, this is going to be just a quick, short little blurb here, but it's definitely worth the watch. If you're a Star Wars fan, even if you're not a Star Wars fan, it's definitely worth the watch. It's a good story. It does. Nick, plug your ears for a second, okay?
Hold on, taking my headphones out.
All right. It does kind of give you a gut punch to your childhood, a little bit. If you grew up with Star Wars, it kind of gives you a little.
Oh,
you know what I mean? It kind of.
I feel like. I feel
so.
like a little bit even in 7 and most of 8. That's kind of the whole point they're getting across.
Yep, they're trying to set them. But their whole deal is they're trying to set the universe, like the whole Star Wars universe.
Not old.
Yes, they're trying to.
They're revamping it.
Yep, they're trying to reboot it, I guess I should say. And in that respect, they did a pretty damn good job.
I feel like even though the movie was great, there were several areas that were, I don't know if necessarily want to say letdowns, like, oh, that sucked, but they were letdowns.
Oh, there's one thing I really want to talk about that was weird.
Know.
Fucking man.
Yeah, we'll save it.
God, there were several spots where you're like, wait, what?
I think for me, if they would have titled it Star Wars something, a Star Wars story, like they did Rogue One, I would have been much more receptive to it than actually having it be like.
Yeah, but it's still technically Skywalker storyline.
Yeah,
no, I understand that, but it did not feel like Star Wars. Like, if they would have titled it Star Wars story, something like they did Rogue One,
right?
I think I would have enjoyed it more.
Well, see, here's the thing.
I'm not saying it was a bad movie. I just didn't get into it as much as I went with Ron and Wes, sister, and your dad.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, and you guys like were all like, "Oh, this is awesome," and I felt like an asshole because I was like,
"I want to go home."
I was like, "Well, it's there."
Sorry, you guys wasted money on me.
Yeah.
Oh no! Hey! I paid for myself.
Oh well, yeah.
I wasted my own hard-earned money.
Nick, are you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good. All right. All I have to say, Nick, I guess my best advice for you, without giving anything away, try and look at the bigger picture.
Okay.
That's where I will leave it, and I think that's probably the best way I can sum it up. Because if you can do that, the movie's fantastic.
I'm keeping an open mind.
Yes.
So.
Yep.
Don't go expecting a traditional Star Wars.
I would say really have any expectations of it, so.
Good. You'll be fine. I would say anybody going to see it, like if you're a Star Wars fan, you have to understand that they are trying really hard to make the Star Wars franchise expand and last for like 20 more years with different stories, and they have to do it somehow. Yeah, they can't stick with the same people and the same lineage forever, so they have to do something, and you start to see that in this one. So I'll leave it at that, and we'll go ahead and move on.
I was going to say, I know that eventually they're going to stop with the Skywalker storyline.
I think after 9 they will be done with Skywalker.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think this saga is wrapping.
Yeah, I know Rian
They're trying to
Johnson
put
was planning on a trilogy that had nothing to do with this at all.
Yeah.
It's like in a different part of the galaxy even.
Yep, yeah, they're not going to do anything related to the books or comics or any canon Star Wars story. Like, he's going completely off the grid with what he wants to do with it.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I am too. I'm anxious to see like some new stuff, because there's so much more to the Star Wars universe than what we've been shown, and I hope
than what meets the eye.
Yeah, exactly.
Wrong franchise.
Yeah,
I know. I'm just kidding.
That's all right. So we'll go ahead and leave that there. So the Netflix original Bright was kind of something that it caught my attention just because it was all elves and orcs and magic and whatnot, but it was set in modern day times with Will Smith, and it's kind of a you know, I don't know, like, it caught my attention, but it kind of weirded me out a little bit. Did anybody else get that impression? Like when you were first hearing about it, like, not after you watched it, but like when you were first hearing about it, like, were you kind of like, I don't know?
I was super into it when I first.
I was too. I was geeked about that concept.
Oh yeah, it just looked cool. It was something different. It wasn't going back to the same well. I was going back to the same well, but you were taking a different path. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's fantasy, but it's like D20 modern.
And there I have another question. Is it set modern day or is it set slightly futuristic?
I would say, I don't know.
Modern day.
Is it? I thought maybe it was like near future.
Well, because here's the deal. For those of you who haven't seen it, I guess because we all have, except for Lauren, we all have seen it. We're going to go ahead and give a spoiler alert right now. So, spoiler alert.
Fat spoiler alert.
Like, fast forward probably a good 10-15 minutes from here if you want to skip this part. But we won't outright give anything away, but I don't really want to hold back on what we're going to talk about. So, it's so hard to do that.
Yes.
Yeah. So, for those of you who have seen it, like, it was, I want to say it was straight up modern, but it was, you know, obviously alternate timeline, because
I just read wiki. It said alternate present.
Yeah, I would say, because the whole thing behind it is that orcs and elves and magic and everything persists past our you know, legends and myths that we have in, you know, the real world, and it actually exists, and those creatures actually persist into modern times and have become part of society. Like the orcs, and as a side note, it's pretty good social commentary, or, you know, social commentary too. Orcs are like, you know, the disenfranchised, you know, group, the racial group that are sadly getting treated unfairly by the rest of society and by the police force and upper class society, which is made up of elves, which is so fitting. Like, they're like these like Gucci model motherfuckers that have their own segregated cities, and like they use their wealth and influence to basically oppress, you know, the orcs.
They're very easy to hate.
Yeah, they are, but they're pretty sweet. But yeah, so like the whole premise behind it is there's these magic wands that are, I didn't catch this, whether or not they were rare or like
very
not
rare. They don't show up that often.
Okay.
They were like extremely rare, and you had to be special to use them.
You had to be a bright in order to.
Which is like a magically attuned individual, I guess, right? And primarily an elf, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, elves are more attuned to it. Yeah.
Yep.
And you had to be kind of like trained in how to, like, it wasn't just like a pick up and point fireball wand. It was, you had to know keyword spells, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And if you touch it and you're not a bright, you blow up like a couple sticks of C4.
Yep, that happened. That was sweet.
Basically, it's interesting. Yeah.
So like the whole plot behind the keep wanting to say show, but the whole plot behind the movie was that Will Smith is saddled with the first orc as a police officer, and obviously they're all.
Well, I think it was the first orc police officer in L.A.
Oh, was it?
I don't. Yeah, because
it was
they
like the
had talked
first diversity hire.
He was the diversity hire for their station
precinct. Okay. Yeah.
All right, and they go out on a call, and they end up finding a wand and an elf that. Oh wait, hold on. Am I getting this confused here? They end up finding a wand that belongs to a really powerful, I guess, assassin lady, I guess is the best word I would describe her as. And they have to figure out how to handle that because wands are considered like federal jurisdiction, and some other things happen that kind of put them at odds with the rest of the police force. And
was she an assassin or was she just a cult leader?
They were kind of like a cult. And I hope that Wes, of all people, caught that.
Because they were trying to summon...
Will Smith even said, "Are you guys Illuminati?" And they're like, "No, we killed those guys like 200 years ago."
Yeah. Yep, I remember
I thought
that
was
part.
Really funny.
Yeah. Yep.
Illuminati real.
Confirmed.
Yeah, by Bright.
Episode. Sorry.
So anyway, what'd you guys think of that? Like, how was their execution? Because what the internet has been buzzing about is how much it sucks. And it's not really the internet. It's like a lot of like
Metacritic and that kind of stuff are all kind of being harsh on it.
They were being harsh on it, but all the actual people who watched it that review it, like I guess you would call them the audience. Like the audience reviews are completely opposite of the actual critic reviews. So what did you guys think about it?
I thought it was great.
I thought it was okay.
I don't think if it wasn't for this podcast, I wouldn't have went out of my way to watch it as quick as I did.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I didn't think it was like it didn't blow my mind, but it was okay.
It was like a solid 6.5 out of 10 for me. Like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like something that I would have, like I said, would have gone out of my way to watch as quick as I did.
I'd say it was like a 5. Maybe 5.5 for me.
See, I would rate it like 7.5. To be honest, like I thought it was pretty good.
About 7.5 too.
Yeah, you know, I would put it kind of as a if it weren't for it drawing on, like, I shouldn't say source material, but drawing on material that is familiar and really interesting to me. Like, and I say that as a fantasy fan, a fan of fantasies type stuff. If it hadn't been for that, like, I don't know if I would have watched it. I mean, I like Will Smith a lot. He's good, but it ran pretty much like, what is it, Bad Boys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
yeah, Bad Boys with orcs.
But with fantasy elements. But I think I'm with Drew that I probably wouldn't have checked it out if it weren't. But I guess that's the whole point of it, was that it was all fantasy. It was kind of a genre mix, or you know. So for that, like, and they did a pretty good job of like representing that type of stuff, as far as, because, you know, anybody who's a fantasy fan knows that orcs and elves are like mortal enemies. So to see them kind of play out like that in society, where they kind of have to get along, but you can see that if those characters had persisted through modern times as they did in this movie, you would see that they probably would play out like that in real life. You know what I mean? Without being actually all out at war with each other. So, you know, to that end, it was pretty cool. But yeah, anybody have anything else to add?
Well, they're making it another movie, right?
Another movie or a series even. I heard both. But, you know,
I will be interested to see where they go with it after how it ended.
Yeah. Well,
it ended pretty definitively to have another movie.
Oh yeah. Well, you know,
so, I mean, like,
yeah.
Or I mean, even a show, it ended like really, like, it had a concrete ending.
Yeah, that's true.
It didn't leave anything like ambiguous at all. Like,
well, it did sort of, because I mean, the Dark Lord could still be, risen.
Well, he could. Okay, other than that, you knew basically where all the characters stood at the end of the movie.
Yeah, I guess that's
there
true.
wasn't like this elf got away, or this orc is going after all of these guys now. It everything was wrapped up with a bow.
Yeah.
Save for the Dark Lord. I mean, even that wasn't really, to me, that wasn't really even like heavily like followed in the movie that much.
Yeah.
Like I know like that's why the one person wanted to get it, but like other than that, like that's the only real mention of it, I guess.
I'd probably be interested in a series. Like if they did a mini series on Netflix, like I could probably get behind it.
Yeah, I hear you. I would too. I would take another movie, but I would prefer a series because I think the setting that they introduced is pretty interesting. And when you think about it, if you put something like that in a modern setting, they could really go anywhere with it because they're not really confined to, you know what I mean? It could just be a modern story told, but include elves, orcs, and magic. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
And centaurs. I can't believe I almost missed that.
Yeah.
I didn't
actually made me
catch
laugh
that
pretty
for a
hard
second.
when they had the centaur cop.
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
I thought I had saw that, and then it switched scenes, and then he appeared in a different scene, and that's when I was like, oh shit, that was a centaur.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll go ahead and move on. We're going to go ahead and do kind of a quick overview. I think some of us have some things that they wanted to overview as far as how this past year, 2017, went as far as in regards to the nerdy world, I guess you want to call it. Nick, you want to go ahead and start off with what you thought about 2017 as far as like game releases, movie releases, anything along those lines?
Game releases were huge this year. This surprised me was the Nintendo Switch, which I don't own one yet, but I really want to. I think it's going to be on my list soon. Zelda Breath of the Wild has been like, it got Game of the Year, right?
Yeah, it did. I forget who did that, did the awards, but
right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a game I see in my collection in the near future. It's a beautiful looking game. The system is definitely wowing everybody. You know, Nintendo, I think, really struck back, and they're doing really well with that. So that's cool.
Yeah.
And then Kickstarter board games, I've been hitting that up lately. And
yeah, you're big into
board games. And yeah, 2017 and 2016 were huge for board games. So keep an eye on that.
Anything in particular? From this past year, I mean, I know you have some stuff to talk about for 2018, but anything?
I'm looking forward to. Well, I kickstarted a game called Lords of Hellas, which is something that I still haven't received yet, but I should be getting that hopefully soon. And it looks really, really good. It's a really big area control game set in Greece. If the Grecians had like advanced technology instead of other resources, it looks really, really solid. So that's a game I'm really looking forward to. I don't want to say it came out in 2017, but it got funded in 2017. So
okay, good deal. Drew, what about? I know you got to take off soon, buddy, so I want to get you in here. What about 2017 was it kind of a highlight for you as far as gaming and movie world?
Movie world, Guardians 2 was pretty great.
I still haven't finished that.
and then for me personally, the movie Goon 2 came out, and I am.
Is that the hockey movie?
That is the hockey movie with Sean Williams. And I am such a fan of the first one.
Stifler.
The second one did not disappoint one bit. It's a sports movie, but it is all violence and comedy. And I think it would be right up your guys' alley. Like, it's great. So great. And then gaming-wise will be like the release and madness that ensued with the the SNES and NES classics.
Oh yeah.
The little gaming systems that everyone went ape shit over and that you could not find anywhere and really still can't.
Yep, they're on my list as far as what I'm going to talk about here in a minute. Yeah, Ron, what about you, man? You're going to talk about some celebrities, right?
I was going to talk about like the celebrity deaths in 2017. I know it's kind of a dark, morbid topic. I was actually going through the list, and there was a lot of celebrity deaths. So I started like writing down which ones kind of affected me the most or had like an impact in my life. And I was looking at my list. I was like, oh God, I did a top 10. Oh no.
Jesus.
Top 10.
And I didn't mean to do that. But some like as far as nerdy news goes, George Romero passed away last year. Same with Adam West.
That's so sad.
As far as comedians go, the people that affected me, like Jerry Lewis, Don Rickles, Jim Nabors, the guy who played Gomer Pyle.
Okay.
Music, we lost Chuck Berry and Chris Cornell was the other guy from Linkin Park.
Chester Bennington.
Yeah.
Is that his name? Bennington?
Yeah. So
yeah.
Actors, we lost John Hurt, who played the Elephant Man. Bill Paxton, that was a shocker, actually.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, exactly. So there's quite a few.
Ethan, what about you, man? Did you have anything from 2017?
2017, obviously Star Wars, Blade Runner 2049, which was pretty damn good. Season 2 of Stranger Things was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was so good.
Yes.
I didn't get probably anything new as far as video games last year. At least not that were new releases to me. I don't know. I didn't really geek out much. It's kind of sad.
Well, it's New Year's resolution.
Yeah, New
Right.
Year.
Yeah. Also, Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah.
So that came out in 17, and I'm looking forward to season 2 in 18.
I almost forgot about that. My God, kind of crazy.
Yes.
Speaking of all that, that brings me back to our first episode, which it feels like it was a long time ago, but what we're on, this is episode 6, and we do 2 a month, so that's what, like three. We've only been at this since October of last year, so it seems like it's been a long time, but really kind of hasn't. But Tucci, what about you, man?
Some games I really enjoyed playing in 2017 is Divinity: Original Sins 2. It's a freaking great RPG game. If you enjoy that, it's really good with friends. It's basically like D&D, but on your computer. So yeah, you have to have a computer, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. They might actually. I don't know if they have a PS2 version or PS2.
Well,
PS4 version.
They released the first one on PS4, so it's probably coming down the line, but it'll be a while.
If it's not already, yeah. And then Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. That's like a very new release. It just came out.
What the hell is that?
It's like a mountain climber. I saw PewDiePie playing it, and I was like, okay, I've got to give it a shot. And it's a pretty difficult game.
Okay.
Many rage quits. And then Ghost Recon Wildlands. I actually, like I said, I really liked the beta. Just didn't have the money to buy it. But I plan on it, so we'll see what happens. Getting to finally experience Final Fantasy XIV was like a highlight of my year, and that happened in October. So very close to the ending, but it was great, and it's been great, and it's still great. Couple movies and shows, like just a compound off Stranger Things was amazing. Seriously, if you haven't seen it yet, you're doing life wrong, and you should fix it. And then Spider-Man Homecoming, I really enjoyed that.
It's so good.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
Still haven't watched it.
Oh man, you should.
You're missing out, dude. Michael Keaton, awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
Good stuff.
Yes, it was a great movie. It was a good year though. It was a good year for me.
Good deal. All right, Lauren, what about you?
I also did not really do a lot of geeking out in 2017. It was kind of a blur. But as far as like new games I've played, I guess my favorite was probably Horizon Zero Dawn, which I'm still working my way through, but it's a beautiful game. And of course I love, a female character. And I haven't played yet, but I just got Assassin's Creed Origins, which I'm really
Oh my
excited
God.
about.
Yeah.
Because I haven't liked games since Black Flag.
If you like, do you like regular like RPG style? Actually, you know what? I would say it's pretty much on par with or Horizon Zero Dawn as far as gameplay wise. As far as you have like the missions and the open world, and they did away with the old style of Assassin's Creed combat, and they went with like you have like a strong and heavy attack. So you'll probably love it. So
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
it's so
even
good.
though I'm late to the game on that one.
No, it's all right.
As far as movies in 2017, I can't really think of anything that like came out that I loved. I mean, it came out, but I didn't really like the remake. It was it was more of a comedy to me than anything.
like that
And I think
And you didn't think the original It was a comedy?
I think it was scarier, but like what is that called?
And cheesier.
The CGI, is that what it's called? Yeah. That it kind of like ruined it for me, like because it wasn't scary, you know. But I think that the kids were cast perfectly for that movie, and they were hilarious.
I don't disagree. I think the cast was really. I just don't think it was scary.
Yeah, no, I laughed a lot.
Well, the problem is we're all desensitized for that.
Yeah.
Hey, this movie's gonna be scary. Whatever.
Yeah.
2017. I'm glad it's over.
Are you gonna watch Star Wars this year?
Maybe that's my New Year's resolution.
There we go. All right, I'll take it. So I kind of went a different route as far as reviewing 2017. I decided because a lot of the nerdy news that we covered on this show, at least from October on, dealt with a lot of video game companies that were being less than honest. So I decided to put together a small list of video game company scandals. So they're in really no particular order here as far as which one's worse or not, but I'll just go ahead and read them off. So number one, in the continuation of 2016's bullshit time period when Modern Warfare Remastered was forced into a bundle with Infinite Warfare. Do you guys remember that? Like they wouldn't sell it separately for the longest time.
Oh,
and
yeah.
everyone was so pissed about it because they wanted Modern Warfare but not Infinite Warfare. So finally they listened and they decided to sell it separately, but they decided to sell an over 10-year game without some of the original maps, and they actually made you pay for additional DLC for a 10-year-old game. Again.
God, what a crock of shit.
So there's one. Two, this is a lot of Call of Duty news, but Call of Duty World War II's lack of diversity and calls for censorship involving swastikas in their multiplayer game. Who has Call of Duty World War II right now?
I do.
You guys do? Do they have swastikas in the multiplayer?
I haven't honestly played it in a little while.
I don't recall seeing them. I don't have the Iron Cross.
Yeah, apparently they edited them out, and people were kind of pissed just because it took away from some of the historical accuracy of it. But speaking of that, the whole lack of diversity thing was the developers had started kind of advertising that they were going to include minority and women characters in the storyline, and at first glance it doesn't seem like there should be anything wrong with that, but the way that they went about it that people had an issue with was that they kind of treated it kind of in the article I read kind of phrased it like this: they were kind of like back of the box features instead of expressing a desire to accurately represent those characters' lives and issues in the narrative just naturally. So yeah, people were kind of mad about that. I remember that. I really had no interest in getting Call of Duty, so I didn't pay a whole lot of attention, but that was a thing for a while. Then moving on, Nintendo. Last year, Nintendo announced the discontinuation of the NES Classic after just 5 months of purposefully not meeting consumer demand. Instead, they decided to release the SNES Classic. I know Drew had mentioned that, but I thought that was kind of hilarious. We have the NES Classic, and apparently you cannot get them anymore, so I guess we're lucky.
I know what I'm stealing when I get to your place.
Yeah. The next one here is PUBG. See, I said it right this time. The news article that I read about the
PUBG,
the PUBG, the camel toe model for the females that went or was on the test realm anyway. Then we have Bungie slows down experience gain for Destiny players. And then we have the Fortnite developer Epic suing cheaters in the game, one of which was a minor. Then came the great loot box debacle of 2017 with the following titles garnering lots of criticism for what would be deemed later by certain countries as promoting gambling. Yeah, they were actually considering changing laws for this, and I could be wrong, but that could still be happening as far as making it illegal for video games to do this. But the titles in question were Forza Motorsport 7, Middle-earth Shadow of War, and of course Star Wars Battlefront 2. This one I was kind of debating even adding it, just because I didn't want it to open up a box, but for the sake of being thorough here, I just wanted to mention it. We had the end of net neutrality regulations this past year, and as far as why we chose not to talk about it on the show is because it's a highly politically charged topic, and I think our show is best served as steer clear from a lot of that stuff. So I don't want to split our audience or even our team members on anything because of our political views. So that's why we chose not to really go into it. But whatever you guys' thoughts on it, it happened. So that's why it's being mentioned. And as far as another thing in 2017 that I kind of have mixed feelings about is Disney buying Fox. And what that could mean for the X-Men series and or the X-Men movies, and the reason why I have mixed feelings about it is Disney buying Fox could also mean that they buy the rights to Firefly as well. So you know what I mean? You think about the possibilities. I didn't think about that at first, but it seems Firefly would be right up the alley of Disney, and I don't think they would do a live action series or anything like that, but they could very well bankroll at least a really good animated movie or series or something like that, and I would still be behind that. Anything to continue the story.
In the words of Deadpool, I'm touching myself tonight.
Who will also be a Disney princess.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see here. Did we miss anybody for 2017?
I have a couple of things to add.
Okay.
That I guess aren't like really nerdy things, but if anybody else likes to listen to podcasts, I just wanted to briefly go over a couple that I loved that came out in 2017, which S-Town, which I don't know if you guys listen to other podcasts.
I mean, no, our podcast is the only podcast anybody's ever allowed to listen to.
Well, that also happened in 2017.
Ever.
So good news for 2017, right? No, but S-Town is great for a podcast. And then I also really like Ear Hustle that started in 2017 as well. It's into other things.
The only time that I used to be able to listen to podcasts all the time because my job allowed for it. But since changing positions at the shop, I need to be able to hear when things are going to hit me. So, or when I'm going to hit,
excuse,
or when I'm going to hit somebody else. So, I can't do that.
Like it.
Yeah, I can't do that anymore. Sadly, I barely even listen to our show. I usually listen to our show at least once just to make sure I didn't fuck anything up in editing. So
you just gotta pop them on when you're driving in the car.
Yeah, I know, but I used to be able to listen to like 3-hour shows like back to back while I was at work. Yeah, but now it's like 15-20 minutes is my drive to work, and it'd take me 3 days or 2 days to finish one hour episode. So I just don't, but I really should, because there's a lot of good stuff out there.
Hell yeah.
Oh, and speaking of 2017 and podcasts and everything, our friends over at Tomorrow's End, they had a contest going for a huge prize pack for what was it? It had the I don't even know. Anyway, I won it.
What was it?
I won it. I won it, and I don't remember what it was. It's like a
source book, a bag,
source book, a dice set,
pins and patches or shit.
Yep. So it's a whole bunch of stuff to play the game or to play the setting. So I'm gonna have to teach
real
myself.
Talk, if I can jump in there real quick, that is a great podcast.
Yeah.
And seriously, if you haven't checked it out yet, you guys should.
Yep, we have the commercial on here, and I have to edit the commercial because I, like an asshole, I forgot to mention where you can find them. So I'll go ahead and do it right now, just in case I forget to change the commercial. But you can find them on iTunes, Google Play, and on their website, which you might have to go to our Facebook to find that out, because I don't remember what it was exactly. I think it's tomorrowsend.rpgstuff.net, I want to say is the address. But anyway, go on our Facebook page and you'll find it there. We share a lot of their stuff. But yeah, actually, they did a shout out to us in their latest episode too. So go ahead and listen at least for the first 10 seconds. You can hear that in their latest episode anyway. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a great D&D podcast, though. Like, I really enjoy the story and the characters so far. And I'm only like 3 episodes in, so they're pretty good. Seriously.
We're going to go ahead and move on to what we're looking forward to in 2018, and then we got to wrap things up, guys. It's getting late. Drew, since you got to take off here, buddy, what are you looking forward to in 2018?
Most of my 2018 looking forward to stuff is movies. Remember, Incredibles 2 is on there.
Hell yeah.
Fantastic Beasts 2 is on there.
Hell yeah.
Star Wars.
Hell no.
Han Solo.
Shut up, Lauren.
Yeah, you just worry about watching 4, 5, 6, which is the first two, which is confusing sometimes. There were a couple other movies on there. Ant-Man and Wasp was on there. I really liked Ant-Man because it was a comedy movie and superheroes. Not a lot of people liked that one, but I am looking super forward to that.
Good deal.
Oh, and then Deadpool 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Super
yes.
Troopers 2 are both on my list.
It's the year of twos.
It's definitely the year of deuces.
Yep.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yep, made a poop joke. Deal with it. I'm a 12-year-old.
All right, Tucci, you jumped the gun, and then we'll go to Lauren here for 2018. What are you looking forward to, man?
So yeah, quick games that I'm excited for. Crackdown 3. Oh my god, I can't even explain to you how excited I am for that. If you don't know about Crackdown, you're basically a future policeman that goes around and beats up on gangs, and you can like scale building. It's incredibly fun. Just look it up. And then Red Dead Redemption 2 comes out in 2019, which I know a lot of people are going to be excited for. I've actually not played the game, but I've heard great things about it. So I'm just kind of looking out for the second one, and I'll probably just buy them as a pack or something like that when it comes out.
The first one's really good.
It is.
Yeah,
So
that's
good.
what I need.
You need to play Undead Nightmare.
Yes.
That's Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare is the best.
Okay, I'll check that out. And then Anthem. I don't know if you guys know what Anthem is.
I was gonna talk about that too. That's the game this year that I am looking forward to.
Yeah, that should be a new flagship game for sure. Yeah, it does look dope. It's dope AF, as the kids say. And then a game I play competitively, Squad, should be releasing at some point this year. I hope. They just they did a play test for their version 10, and it changed a lot of the mechanics in the game, but I'm really excited to kind of see where it's going and different stuff, because I've been playing it for about 2 years now with my group FFO. But movies that I'm interested in: Avengers Infinity War, Solo, the Star Wars story, Black Panther, Deadpool 2, Pacific Rim Uprising. Yeah, the second one. It's another deuce. So I'm excited for that. That the first one was amazing. I went into it thinking it was gonna be like Gundam or something, but it was even better, in my opinion. But Fantastic Beasts: The Crime of Grindelwald, yeah, and Attack on Titan Season 3. Yes.
All right, Lauren, what about you? 2018.
Oh, it's a short list.
Okay.
I didn't do my homework. So basically, if they ever release it this year, because I know they pushed it back, but the Uncharted movie, I think it's supposed to come out this year. Finally, maybe, or just production, maybe.
They might just be shooting it this year. I know we talked about the fact that they want to cast what's his fuck nuts?
Yeah.
The dude from Spider-Man: Homecoming.
The
What's his
tiny
name?
dude.
So not
Tom Holland.
Tom
Yep.
Holland.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway.
That's a dumb choice. But honestly, what I'm most excited for is for the revamp of Roseanne.
Oh God.
Actually, I'm really looking forward to that too.
I'm super pumped about it.
Yeah.
And I can't wait until it comes back.
Good deal. I wasn't expecting that.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess from you. Yeah. Ron, what about you, man?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to all those movies too. All the deuces that are coming out, but really, I can't wait till next month, February 6th, Shadow of the Colossus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Yes.
god!
Yes.
I have it pre-ordered already.
Yes.
Good deal,
Because
man.
I love this game so hard.
You're gonna have to do some live streaming of it.
It's gonna be so. Oh, I will every day. Yeah.
Anything else, man?
No, that's it. That's all I want. Is
Okay. All right. And Nick.
So for movies, I'm looking really forward to Infinity Wars, like everybody else, obviously. But one that hasn't been mentioned was they're going to be doing the third installment of the Cloverfield.
Oh, really?
So
Did not know. Really?
Yeah, the third Cloverfield movie's coming out.
That one flew under the radar. I had no idea.
And then as far as gaming goes, I was talking to you about this earlier, is a board game called Hate, which is coming out on the 16th of this month. It's based off of a graphic novel. And the artwork is done by Adrian Smith, who does a lot of artwork for the Warhammer series. So check that out. It's like a post-apocalyptic, really dark fantasy graphic novel. And the board game is being done by Cool Mini or Not, or Simon. So obviously the miniatures are going to be amazing. But yeah, that's about it.
Ethan, what about you?
Let's see. A lot of stuff everybody else said, you know, the Deadpools and the Marvels and the blah 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 and the yakety schmackety. In that same vein, I think New Mutants, the first movie in the trilogy, is coming out this year.
Is that the horror-esque one?
The horror X-Men movie, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Which should be good. Ready Player One's coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Read the book.
I've got it sitting on my nightstand, yo.
It's so good.
God, there's something else in May that I thought was coming out, and now my brain just stopped.
That Netflix show?
Oh, yeah, Altered Carbon is
go.
coming out. I'm hella geeked for that. Some good cyberpunky goodness there. Star Trek Discovery again, season 2.
Good deal.
I forgot to add one. Alita Battle Angel. Have you guys
Oh,
seen
yeah.
it?
That looked pretty good.
Oh, it looks so good.
You guys pretty much mentioned everything that I wanted to. As far as 2018, as Tucci mentioned, Anthem, which is being made by BioWare, and is actually being published by EA. So we all know what EA is capable of. But their games do look incredible. And here's what the saving grace is for me is that
loot boxes, right?
What's that? Loot boxes. Yeah, loot boxes. Yeah, of course, probably. But the saving grace for me is that I found out who's writing the story for the plot. It's the same guy who was the senior writer on Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh,
yep.
Wow.
And he was the lead writer on Mass Effect 1 and 2. So between those three points on his resume right there are enough to make me just go crazy over this. It's going to be hopefully it's going to be such a good game. I mean, it combines Destiny with Mass Effect and elements of Titanfall too. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to Anthem. Everything that I've seen on it, they haven't released a whole lot, but everything I've seen on it just makes me really excited for it. Then, of course, as far as TV shows go, really looking forward to Westworld this year.
Yes.
That's once that one goes into, that's going to give us a lot of show material for a long time. So,
yeah.
Yep. And then of course the next Star Wars movie, which is Han Solo, like the origin story. And I did read somewhere that Disney is planning for it to bomb. I mean, they're not trying to make it bomb, but they're like preparing for it. And that kind of doesn't sit well with me, but at the same time, like, it's more Star Wars. It's like, I don't give a shit at this point, you know? But yeah, honestly, I don't. But yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. Did anybody else think of anything real quick before we sign off?
I'm looking forward to more episodes of the Basement Dwellers podcast.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
And exciting new beers.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to
watching Star Wars.
G and Nick coming to Michigan.
Oh yeah,
Hell yeah.
We'll document.
And I'm looking forward to at least some of you coming and getting drunk for my birthday Saturday.
I wish I could, man. I wish I could. But yeah, okay. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap things up. This is probably going to be our longest show that we've had to date. We're at 2
Hey,
out.
new year, new us.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
Right.
And speaking of that, because we missed a week and we're kind of making up for lost time, next week we're going to be having we're going to have another episode released on that Saturday, which is this episode will be released on the 6th, Ethan's birthday, and next episode will be released next week on the 13th. So look forward to that. And next episode, we're going to be doing something completely different. Completely different. Yeah, man, we've been at it for a while, but completely different. We are going to be talking about conspiracy theories. So, yeah. And I have a really, really good one that mixes both conspiracy theory and nerd world type stuff. So yeah, look forward to that next week. Thanks for sticking around as far as you have so far. I know we've kind of dragged this one on for a while. Also next week we're gonna go ahead and finish our versus tournament as well. So yeah, thanks for sticking around, and we will see you next time. Have a good night, everyone.
Tune in next time while Tucci teaches you why the Earth is flat.
Holy shit! Lava lamp.
My mind is blown.
Lava lamp, god damn.
Tucci and his lava lamp. Teach us
Would a
why
lava
Earth is
lamp
flat.
not work on a flat Earth? Question mark. Anyways.
All right, guys. We'll see ya.
Thank you and good night.